Hey, what's up guys, it is I, Mark Yoon, and today I'm bringing you another hopefully exciting video. So what I want to talk to you about today actually is a bit exciting, and it's something that other YouTubers I've seen have gotten a little misconstrued. I've watched videos with like Globclue and like Afro Senju and stuff like that, and I've been seeing Senju in Japan tweeting about it on Twitter. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about Naruto Storm connections, and I just want to go over some of that today. So, we're going to talk about the trailer. I'm going to show parts of it while we're talking about the video, because it's not really much new stuff in there. And I'm also going to be going over an article that was on the official PlayStation blog post, and we're going to be talking about some other stuff. So, this isn't the game that was promised to you by other YouTubers, and the reason I didn't call this Storm 5 is because like I pretty much knew that it wasn't going to be a Storm 5, and that's for a few reasons. First reason is this is the 30th anniversary, so I knew that they were going to be doing something promotional, and that's not going to be a giant new mainline series game, but that's not a bad thing. So first of all, what this is the third in a side project spin-off game series that's within the Storm series, and this is like the third in a row. It's not like this is just out of nowhere connections like came in like we didn't know what it was. I'll show you the release dates here, but we have like Naruto Storm Generations, which came out in between the numbered launches. We also had Revolution, which came out between the numbered launches, and this would be the third one, Connections, which is coming out after a numbered launch and before another numbered launch. Now usually there's reasons that they do these games. Before it was like they were contracted. I think their obligation was to release like one Naruto game per year, that being CC2, but now they have their hands full, and they said they were done with Storm games, which is actually crazy, but I think it's because of the ventures that they've done with like, let's say Kakarot or like JoJo's Battle All-Star R and stuff like that. They haven't got as huge a return on investment as they usually do for the Storm games just to ship a Storm game, so this is probably mainly about monetary and also about closing out their story. Because we had the DLC for Storm 4 with like Road to Boruto, but we really didn't go over that much, and it really only covered like the movie, not even like the anime itself. So there's a lot of potential that's there, and I'm going to get into that as well. So buckle up. Alright, so these non-numbered games are actually not like bad games by any stretch. They give us a lot of like unique individual stuff, and I can go into that. But first I want to read this article with you so we can get a better understanding together about what this game actually is, and then I'm going to go into the nuances of it, because I've seen people read this article and take it out of context. Alright, so this is from the official PlayStation blog, and if we're reading this together, it says Naruto Cross Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections will be the next entry in a series of Ultimate Ninja Storm, and will release on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 in 2023. The second half of the trailer features battle scenes of the playable characters in the game, including Naruto, the ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village, and members of the Akatsuki, and the legendary Hokage. Did you forget your favorite ninjas in this trailer, or did you find your favorite ninjas in this trailer? They go on to say. So this says the largest roster out of the entire series. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Naruto's anime debut, and have fans who supported the series enjoy playing their favorite ninja, the game will contain additional new characters on top of the 124 playable ninja that appeared in Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 Road to Boruto. That will make this the largest roster out of all the entire series. Today we are happy to reveal the first additional ninja that will be part of this roster, and that is Ashura Otsuki, Indra Otsuki. Please stay tuned for more playable characters to be revealed in the near future. In addition, while the game is based on the battle systems of the previous series, the PlayStation 5 version supports 60 frames per second for the first time, making the ninja battle action smoother than ever before. The history of Naruto and Sasuke's rivalry combined into one. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series illustrates Naruto's story with anime shots and game battles that you can relive. This game combines re-edits of selected scenes from the 4 Ultimate Ninja Storm games, brushing up the graphics as much as possible, making it a must for players who have already experienced the series in the post. Furthermore, a new original game story, this is key, will also be available in the game. Please stay tuned for more information on that and other reveals ahead of launch. Alright, so that is super important information, and there was a lot of little tidbits in there that people forgot. So the one thing that I want to go over is original story. So if you played all the Storm games, and you especially played Generations and Revolution, those side games are not like without brand new stuff. They're not like just simply side games or whatever. They're actually really good games with a lot of unique stuff in them. First off, Generations had like these, like the founding of the Akatsuki storyline, where you can actually see how the Akatsuki were formed and how they were chosen. It was an original story by CC2 at the time. We also had like some great side and what if stories. We had like the greatest video of all time, which is like Itachi trying to use his Mangekyo sharingan to cook the perfect egg for Sasuke in the morning, which was an 11 minute and 30-second video of pure greatness. Let me know if you want me to see that on my channel, because I actually have it, so I'll re-release that if you want. In Revolution, which was my favorite Storm game, still even after 4, we had an entirely original story where there was like a tournament setting where everyone went to this island, and then there was also an entirely different story for like Mecha Naruto, and I believe there was other stories as well in that game. It was a pretty big game with an open roaming area, and you can also customize your ninja and characters. So you would get like a bunch of different things and be able to customize your characters and see other people's characters like in like the island area. It was really innovative. It was really cool. It was a feature I really wish stuck around, but unfortunately it seems that like the unique stuff that they do is usually not in the main series numbered games. It's usually in these side games, which is why I'm so excited for Connections, because we can actually have the potential to see something unique, maybe character customization come back, maybe an open world hub, like sans what they did with like Revolution or with Naruto Storm 1. There's like a lot of potential that can be had with this game, and the fact that they so focused and honed in on the fact that it's an original story by CC2 means that we're not going to be getting the Boruto story, which is the biggest reason why I think we're still getting a Storm 5. Now, like I said, the reason why this came out and not Storm 5 is because this is going to be on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 respectively, with the latter having 60 frames per second access. Which can be a bad thing with cross-play if you're playing against somebody who doesn't have 60 frames per second and you're playing on PlayStation, but that's neither here nor there, or that's just something that's going to have to be worked out with this, and CC2 unfortunately doesn't have the best netcode, so maybe they're actually testing a new netcode with this game ahead of Storm 5, because Storm 5 would need to be a massive hit. I believe they probably used some of the development money that they actually got and had left over from JoJo's to use in Storm 5, and this game is just the kind of hold off please, it's still coming kind of deal, and I think it's probably going to be coming next year, if not the year after, but probably next year, because all these individual games usually follow up a new game like a year before. So I'm super excited just for those basic functions of like what can we see in this game that we don't see in the numbered games. And a lot of people haven't played Generations or Revolution. They usually skip those and go straight to the numbered ones, but the individual games are actually really unique and have a lot of stuff like full animated cutscenes that are like not from the anime, that are original and directly for the new story of these interim games. New fun characters like Mecha Naruto, who appears in the anime, was actually revealed in Storm Revolution, and had his own story mode associated with him. We got the full Gundam Kyuubi mode and everything. There was a lot to that game that like made it really fun and really memorable, and it still was my favorite out of all the Storm games. So this, yes, we all wanted 5, but this is not the game that we were supposed to get in place of 5, like everyone's saying. This is not like, oh, we let you down, we said this was 5, this is not 5. This is just par for the course with CC2 with this series. We're going to have this game, they're going to build back the Storm base, because it's been like 7 years since the last Storm game released, so obviously they want to make sure that they're still testing the waters before they release a huge budget like Storm game. And Naruto's not on the air, it's Boruto now. Boruto has less viewership than Naruto Shippuden did, so they probably want to test the waters and see if the desire is still there for this. So the more people that buy this game is the increasing chances that we actually do get Storm 5 next year, which they're probably working on in the interim, because the reason that they reset assets and reused assets for this game is because this is a side game. It's not the main series numbered game. But that's a good thing, because it probably means that they're using this to put the assets into Unreal Engine 5, and they're probably using that to build up to get the graphics engine overhauled, and we're going to have a lot better of a Storm 5 than we would have had they just released it this way. Now, they also say that it's recut, and what that means is that, like, we're not getting the individual story modes from the Legacy Collection or from Storm 1, 2, and 3. What we're actually getting is an original story that doesn't follow the storyline of the Naruto stories. Now, there will be probably a side mode that's like the main story. There's going to be a focus on a main original story as they're set. This is what they always do. And then the real timeline story is going to be like a separate story mode, probably called like Legacy or something like that, and or maybe just Connections, and that is going to reuse the cinematics and re-edit and recut them in such a way that it's new and fresh, so it's not going to be going through the same type of story mode. So I've seen people say this game's not going to have a story mode. That's not true. It's going to have multiple story modes. These games are actually a lot beefier than the numbered games are, and people just sleep on them, which I don't understand. Alright, so if you want to go for like the release schedule, we can see back here, we had Naruto Ninja Storm that released in 2008, 2009 we had nothing, Storm 2 came out in 2010, 2011 we had nothing, and then this is when they started doing the interim games for every other year. So we had Storm Ultimate Ninja Generations in 2012, 2013 we had Storm Ultimate Ninja 3 Full Burst, Storm Ultimate Ninja Revolution came out in 14, nothing in 15, and then in 16 we had Storm 4, which means that if we're following the pattern that they used to do before, we're actually going to be getting Connections this year, and then we're probably going to be followed up with either next year getting Storm 5 or the year after, 2025. I think it's more likely for 2024, just because they've probably been working on this with their side teams, like, and now since all their other projects are done right now, like Kakarot, the DLC is on a break for now because Bardock just came out, and then there's also the Tenkaichi 23rd Budokai, which is coming out for that, but that's probably already finished, which is why they're talking about it, so it's probably in polish and bug testing modes at this point. But there is reason to be excited for this game, and I've seen a lot of disappointment, which is really like getting me frustrated, because they're missing the forest for the trees. They're focused on that they wanted this to be Storm 5, and the fact that it's not Storm 5 means that they were wrong, and it also means that like this isn't the game that we wanted. That's neither of those the case. They were right about what was going on. We saw the trademarks for Connections. We saw all this coming to fruition, and I knew this is what was going to happen before it happened. This is a good thing. This is, like I said, we are getting testing the waters for their new netcode so that the online doesn't totally suck in Storm 5 like it has in the other Storm games. We are getting a refresher and re-edits with a new original content and an entirely new original story, which oftentimes means that we're getting an original character as well. We may get character customization back, we may or may not, we may have a new hub, we may or may not, but these are all things that like we're going to be seeing them play with new original ideas in this game, and that's what has me the most excited. So it's also got the largest roster in Storm history, set with a bunch of new characters. Like they even said there's more characters to come. Forgive me, I'm going to try to find it if I can read it right now. They literally say in the article, today we are happy to reveal the first additional ninjas that would be part of that roster, the Otsutsuki brothers. Please stay tuned for more playable characters to be revealed in the near future. So that like just straight up automatically goes to show you that not only are we getting new additional characters that have never been before, like Ashura and Indra are awesome, so to have them in this game is fully playable, as well as other new characters. And I've seen people say like, oh, maybe like we'll get Kawaki, or maybe we'll get like the Byron mode Naruto. I don't think we're going to get any of that. I think we're going to get more Shippuden stuff that we hadn't gotten in Storm 4, and I think Storm 5 is literally going to be the Boruto game. That's going to be the Naruto cross Boruto. Ultimate Ninja Storm 5 is going to be covering from maybe not the beginning of maybe around episode 65. Maybe they'll start off when they're fighting off the Otsutsuki guy, I forget his name at the moment, from the movie. And then going forward, we're going to go into all that stuff where we get like Kawaki, we get full Byron mode, we get Tonagi, like we get like all that stuff that like everyone wants. That's going to be Storm 5. This is going to be an original story, so it's not going to be canon part of the CC. It's going to be from CC2, not part of like the canon Naruto verse. But don't worry, this isn't normal Naruto filler. These games are actually good. We're going to have the most characters we've ever had, and we're going to have a blast with this for a year or two before we get Storm 5. So I hope everyone, this eases your mind a little bit and puts you at ease. I'll be sure to answer any questions that you have in the comment section down below or on the Discord. Please reach out. I'd love to build the hype for this. There's also an official Discord for connections, I believe, and I'm a part of it. So if you join my Discord, I'll send you a link to that. But any and all thoughts are always welcome in the comment section down below, guys. I'd love to hear from you. And now it's time for the next video coming up. We got a big week this week. There was a lot of reveals and a lot of stuff going on. So, like I always say, guys, I love it. Thank you.
And thank you.